Oh, didn't see you there. Oh, hey guys, what's going on? Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Did you know that you can go to the Ellis Nasty merch store right now, and when past collections selection is now updated, so you can get double entries and to win Charlie Murphy, this badass 570 muffin cap peeling machine.
Go fire it up for him. Go fire it. Hey, make sure it's a park, Phil.
Oh, yeah.
You guys can win this. Go to lsnasty.com to get entered.
Let's not look at it.
Oh, look at Phil.
Oh man, struggle.
Oh, look at that. Still has got tilt wheel. What you know about tilt wheel?
This vice grip.
That's a custom ground. Give him a little rev. Give him a little rev, Phil. Where could they go to get entered to win this?
The Ellis Nasty merch store. The first link in the description down below. Oh man, still spinning.
Before we really get into this video, I just want to show you guys something. V8, LS, single turbo, hell yeah. Honda.
Oh no.
Honda.
All-wheel drive Honda.
Well,
see how firm it got?
What do you have to tell the people, Phil? What do you got go? What's your new thing around here? You're not anymore a Honda guy.
I'm an all-wheel drive Honda guy.
You got the Glizzy Mobile out here?
Oh man.
You want to tell them about it real quick?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of not all-wheel drive yet, but the components are. I got to pick the components up later.
So it's not all-wheel drive.
I mean, it's front-wheel drive, but it'll still peel somebody's muffin cap back right now.
So what's it lacking to become all-wheel drive?
Drive shaft.
Oh, you run a drive track in that?
Yeah, drive track.
Very nice, very nice.
And some control arms and rear axles. But the rear diff and stuff is in there.
So you just have a diff sitting in there?
Yeah, I got a diff just chilling right now. It's like, I'm just, waiting to go to work.
All right, I hear you. You, let's lock something in.
Oh, what you trying to lock in?
Let's lock something in. On the highway.
With what?
I got me a new car.
Oh my God.
I got me a new car.
Bet.
I go to pick up my new car tomorrow.
Bet.
Lock in and I'll peel your... We have like 96 bets.
What? All right, but this is the only one that we can come through on, though.
No, we're going to come through on the other ones when I fire that bitch up. But I'm saying, like, right now, like tomorrow I'm going to pick this thing up.
All right.
Let's lock in.
Monday.
8th mile, I'll bust your ass on the street.
On the street.
From a dig.
From a dig.
You're done.
Bet. Lock in. What are we locking in for?
What do you want?
Man, what can I get for hippos that I need?
I don't know. Let's just start. You want a whole chat? You want me to get you a chassis? You want me to start from scratch? You want me to get you a running car?
That's pretty much what we're going to be at after I gap you.
Let's just do something.
All the bets.
I don't want to take a lot from you, so let's just do like a campus grill, like jacked up bird or something. All right, lock in. No, it's like this, like this, like
my hands are too stiff.
Like Spider-Man. There you go, or Ninja Turtle.
Literally the most homosexual thing I've ever heard.
Oh, you're getting gapped next week. You're getting gapped next week, guys. I didn't tell anyone yet. It'll be tomorrow's video, but I'm going to pick up a new car. I bought a new car. First one of its kind for the channel here. And no, it's not a 4-cylinder. No, it's not a 10-cylinder. It's LS based, but that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to reveal any more information.
It's a 6-cylinder LS.
It is 100% complete. So if you guys are like, oh great, here we go, John, another project, you're never gonna get it done, blah blah.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
No, it thing's 100% turnkey, ready to roll. It's been running at the track.
Wait. You can't say turnkey anymore.
Why?
Because we bought that and it was turnkey, but we had to fix a bunch of shit on it.
The key turned, but that was about it.
That was it.
That was it. This one's out here printing tickets. That's what I should say. It's no longer is it turnkey, does it print tickets. This thing prints tickets. It came with some time slips, so we know it's a trusty, reliable vehicle, and we're looking to have some fun with it. It's the first vehicle of its type for me, which I'm very excited about. You guys can take that and think about it all night until tomorrow's video, as far as you want or as little as you want, but that's what we got going on. Like Phil mentioned earlier, we got some stuff up on the LS Nasty merch store. I got beanies and I got some new ball caps, some new hats that have the LS Nasty American flag logo on there. So that's pretty sick. I got this up on the website, and I got a new shirt coming out today as well, which I probably had to like throw that into the intro because we forgot to add it in the middle of the intro. So we got the new logo, which I'll put it up right here. It's pretty badass, so go and check that stuff out. A little shop update in the corner of the shop. What we got going on here is Squidbilly. I'm waiting for my lifters to get back from Johnson Lifters. Randy over there at Johnson hooking me up. I got the block and heads over here, and being that's a stock block, you can't add the lifters in after you put the heads on. So before I do anything else, I got to put the lifters in here, and then we should be good to go. This one's going to run like the standard Melling oil pump with a Moroso pan, Johnson lifters. I got a set of Speedmaster rock arms. It's got a lamb cam in there, so it's nothing crazy. This is like what I would say most people could fulfill all their dreams with. A solid 1,000 horsepower turbo motor going in any, I mean, 1,000 horsepower, 800 horsepower is very strong. Not a lot of people are really, it's not in their best interest to go out there and make 2,000 horsepower, make 1,600 horsepower. Start off, make 1,000 horsepower to the ground. It's plenty enough. So once we get that done, we'll get that stuck in the car. I'm waiting on some TDI turbos from Jose over at Force Inductions. He is like the new king of the badass, very good budget turbos. He owns a company called TDI Turbos, and they make some awesome turbos. So we got two like S300 chassis turbos coming. We're going to set them like right back here, Pro Mod-ish style. And we'll get Jason here to fab up the turbo kit. It's going to run on alcohol. It's going to be a race car. It's going to run no prep. It's going to be a slick little build. We already got the transmission and the drive shaft and everything's all in there. So really, once we get the motor and the turbo kit done, we will wire it up and start testing with it. Wes is over here. He's got my Allen wrenches sitting on his intake. Looks like he's ready to start making his fuel system. He's got a mechanical fuel pump down there. He's got some fitting, some fuel lines, and once he gets that done, it's time to wire the car up, and then he'll be done. So we got two right here. This one looks like it's pretty far off, but it's really not. Wes is not as far off as he thinks, I believe. I think once he gets his fuel system done, gets it wired up, he'll be ready to roll. The cow, there's its transmission, its broken input shaft and converter. So I'm waiting on another one. I just ordered it. I'm waiting for it to come in via the mail, and we'll get that back in there. And then the cow will be back and running. This thing is a beast. Went 560s on wastegate. We got to finish putting the harnesses in on it, and then just wire up the boost controller, and you're good to go with that. So should be able to do anything we want to power wise with this. This is the Black Sheep motor shoved in a Corvette with some Force Inductions turbos on there, billet atomizer, injectors, Holley Dominator EFI with a Crawford Racing piggyback harness. It's a very, very nice setup. Got our Motion Raceworks burn down tubes on there for the crankcase ventilation. Very, very nice. Go over here to Brad's stuff. Jason's coming back next week to do the ladder bar kit. He's got his Applied Racing Technologies, I think that's what it is, Applied Racing. He's got his Applied Racing stuff here. We need to order some strange brakes for it and get that done. As you can see, it's got some cage work, some chassis work done to it as well. Jason's gonna finish off a tube front end on it. Cut out all this junk right here. You don't need any of this stuff. Don't need this. Just do a tubular core support, and all this stuff here can really go. If they made a K member for these, it'd be really nice, but it's got a manual rack on there already, so it should be good to go. And then we bring you over to today's topic. Everyone's favorite truck that they hate the most, because I don't really work on it that much. We got the Discount Dragon. I got some parts for it. I got my injector harness in there. I got my main harness. I got my Holley HP mounted up. And I got the zoomies about done. I got to weld out the inside of the flange on this side, and then we're done. But Jason did come by and he braced them all up. So as you can see, they got some bracing in the middle there. and I mean, that looks very good. It'll do the job. I mean, a little flimsy there because it's not welded out, so once I weld those out, it'll be good to go. But as you can tell, I'd say like pretty decent. We got the seat mounted up there. I got me a gauge panel against everyone's best intentions. They told me not to get it, but I mean, oh my God, don't fall. Old Jegs, just classic, like $80. I mean, look at this thing. You flip the ignition on, turn the fuel pump on, water pump, fans, and accessories. I mean, this is literally everything I need, is why I got it, because I need to have ignition, I need to have fuel pump, water pump, fans, and I think that's about it. I mean, I can have the accessory be the injectors. I like to have my Holley and coils separate from my injectors. On all my race cars, is just what I'm used to. And then of course, it's got a starter. I got a Holley starter, MSD starter to go in there, so it should be pretty slick. But what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna get this thing off the Pro Jacks. I'm gonna push it out. I'm gonna clean it out. It's a little dusty. I'm gonna weld up the rest of these headers and get them finished up. After the headers are done, I gotta run the lines to the radiator. I have to run brake lines and wire the vehicle, and it is ready to go. Fuel system's done. I have other valve covers that already have the breather stuff in there, so I just need to put the other valve covers on. I need to find those the old school RPM valve covers, but very close to completion. I know everyone wants to see this thing run. I want to see it fire up. Ben, what do you think? How long until it slings a rod out of it?
I think it'll last a minute, depending on
how
you run it.
What's your take on how I run things?
Hard.
But within their scope of work, yeah. I wouldn't say I'm negligent.
No, that's the. Everything's like expected to break if you're terrible to it. But yes. I mean, if you're just hard on it, but you're still using it the way it's meant to be used, I mean, I see it probably lasting 20 minutes.
Why do you say that?
Because you're going to be behind it on the first start. It'll last a week or two.
A week or two. That's all we need. We need to go down there and do burnouts, sling a rod out. Hell yeah, come back. Kevin's about finished up with my Frankenstein 460-inch LSX block.
There's no load in burnouts. So
no.
Really,
it just depends on what this thing's geared to. We might have to just like leave this thing leak and boost like crazy to help bleed some off.
Poke some holes in line.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, it potentially could make a lot of boost. So I'm excited. I got a 16-volt alternator we need to put on there. It's going to run on a 16-volt system. The battery for this truck's actually in the black sheet, so I need to get that, put that back on here. Wire up some sensors. As far as sensors go, it's pretty basic. We're not racing it just yet, so all we need to do is really just for it to run. We don't really care what it's doing. It's got a bruising 9.5-inch converter in there. It's got a power glide. It should be perfect for doing burnouts and just that. Mm-hmm. So we'll get it down. I have yet to have it on the ground since I built the Zoomies, so I'm excited to see how it looks. If I get really bored today, I might try to cut the hood and fit the hood up. I would say everything's pretty much set in stone on where it's going to be. Would you agree? Mm-hmm. And everyone knows I just love to cut some hoods. Like, all of my cars have something coming out the hood. That's just like my style. So
yeah, I mean, it's better than trying to cram all that heat and everything
underneath it. Yeah. So well, let me get this down off of, it's not Pro Jacks, I'd call them amateur jacks. I just got some 4 jack stands up there. We'll get it lowered back on the ground, and I'm gonna push it outside, clean it up, and we'll get to work on it. Got my boy Timmy over here doing a little tire swap. So I had a change of plans. I was going to work on the Colorado today, and I got caught running around. Like I said earlier in the video, I am planning on going tomorrow. I'm going to go to Georgia, and I'm going to pick up another vehicle, a complete turnkey car. Everything's ready to go on it, so I'm not getting another project like I said before, but we're close on this. I got a bunch of parts coming for it so we can get it wrapped up, because we are going to take this thing down to Cletus and Cars for their burnout contest. I've never done a burnout contest before. I figure there's no better way to try it than with a Pro-charged LS swap Colorado with a power glide. Should net us some really great tire smoke and wheel speed. A lot of the guys that do the burnouts are in manuals, or like an overdrive style transmission, but I feel like a power glide, just singing some RPMs, Pro-charger screaming, rods flying out the side will be spectacular. So I was planning on doing this, and then I had to do a little tire change on the cow. So these are the slicks that we ran at the No Prep. They have like less than 10 passes on them. They're really brand new. I don't like slicks. I really don't like, on that car I don't like slicks. I shouldn't say I don't like slicks. Some cars slicks drive okay. That thing does not drive good with slicks. I have some old drag radials off the sheet. So these right here are, I have like 60 passes, 60, 70 passes on them. And as you can see, the tread's good. What happens is you wear the sidewalls out of them, leaving so hard, going 60 foots. The car is not the lightest car. It's not heavy compared to the Cow, but this tire, it really does take a toll on the sidewall. You can see the wear pattern on this a little bit different because this tire, it's pretty wide. It was stretched for its life on a 14-inch wide rim. This is what one looks like on a 10-inch wide rim. So as you can see, a little bit of bubble. I mean, now I'm gonna show you it on the sheep. So you can see here this bubble, that's 10 wide. Go over here, this is what 14 wide looks like. So a completely different look. Completely different look. Really stretches the tire out a lot. And then if you go all the way over here into the room, we got a bunch of radial pros here. We stay stocked up on radials. You can tell we like drag racing. This is what a 12-inch wide looks like. So 12-inch wide is, obviously it's in between 10 and 14, but it still has a little bit of bulge to the sidewall, you could say, but not a lot. Definitely helps firm up the sidewall. I feel like, we've talked about it before, I feel like the 14-inch wide rims do really good on super tight tracks and trying to go as fast as you can. And they're very susceptible to tire pressure change though. Changing 1 pound can make the tire act a whole lot. I run a 10-inch wide rim on the Cow, so nothing crazy. Radial Pro works good. Not really too worried about running a used tire off of the Black Sheep, even though the sidewall is worn down on it, because it doesn't leave nearly as hard. If the Cow goes 120, 60 foot flat, I'm cool with it. I mean, that's fine. The car weighs 4,200 pounds. Going 120 flat in the 60 foot is getting it. So put the new set of drag radials on there. New to me, new to the Cow, I should say, and we should be good to go. So Timmy's over here unmounting these Forge Star wheels. Look at these. What's up with the double valve stem?
I don't know.
Is that like an option at Forge Star? I've never seen this. This thing has 2 valve stems on it. Crazy. So this rim right here is getting the slicks off the Cow, and then I'll put the used drag radials on my B-locks. All right, got one tire off the Cow. Some stuff like, I really try to bring you guys videos that are, I mean, one, obviously I want them to be exciting, but two, I want them to be slightly informative. I'm trying to make it where you guys can watch something, you can enjoy it, and you can learn it, but there's a lot of stuff, like there's so much to drag racing and so much to what we do that you can't even put it in the videos, and you cannot even, like, it doesn't transfer over to video. Like, people don't understand, I mean, just some of the little things, like, I know, like, people are probably like, why the hell are you talking about this? But it's just something that's always on my mind. Like, every time I mess with the wheels and tires on this car, you run these ARP studs, you run a different lug nut from factory. These are shank style lug nuts. A lot of race wheels will have these, and pretty much what they do is, when you get to an application where you have a big stud, for instance, a 5/8 stud. So the Mustang here, all of our stuff, mainly all of our cars are 40 splined, 5/8 studs, axles. And as you can see here, the stud is massive. The stud is actually the same size as the outside diameter of the shank. So when you slide it on there with the wheel, the stud takes up all of the space. And then Strange has these washers and then your lug nut. So all the wheels are cut with the inside diameter of the hole as 5/8. So if you were just to put this on there and use like a normal lug nut or one that didn't have a shank to it, there would be a lot of play in between each stud. So when you put this in there, it soaks up the play, so there is no stud. People at home don't realize how big of a pain in the ass these are. Now on your real big horsepower stuff, you don't have to deal with these. This is when you get like a street style, which we go over here, these are brand new axles that I put in this. This is street style stud, a 1/2-inch stud, way smaller than a 5/8. The thread pitch is the same as the ARP ones that I got. The ARP ones are like press in, opposed to these being like screw in the stud. But the shank style stuff, it is a pain in the ass. You got to use the washer, and they don't always go on good, and I be killing these lug nuts, I be killing the washers, and it's just a pain in the ass because every time you take them on and off, like I'm tearing some up or I'm ruining the washer. I mean, look at the washer on this thing. Wait, I don't even think that's the one. One of these, the washer is just absolutely smoked. Like, this washer is like the Grinch's heart. It grew 2 times in size. It about falls over. I mean, look at the size of that. And all the washer does, I mean, it's just, I mean, it's a washer. I can not believe I got like 4 different washers, one from each set. So if I go over here, I'll set this up so you guys can kind of understand the struggle a little bit of what it goes through. It's not like a conical seat lug nut where you just zip it off and everything's good to go. You have to like loosen them all up, and putting the wheel on is even harder because you can't just like run one in there tight, because the wheel will fall to one side or the other and then you won't even be able to get the other one on there. So it's definitely a process, but it's part of it, and it's not a really fun part. It doesn't like look cool on camera, so I don't really show it much, but today you guys are just in it with me. So we dive in here, take the bottom one off first. You can hear it's still coming out. Like, this is kind of a good example of what we got going on. If you see here, the other 4 are keeping everything centered, so you could see how this guy would just slide right in and slide right in the hole. But if I take a couple of them off, or take them loose at least, you'll see the wheel move. Now this last one's holding them all centered because it's tight. As soon as I move this one and break it free, watch, you'll see the wheel kind of fall. And there it is. So as you can see here, now it's off center. So this one's in there just a little bit, keeping it centered. There we go. Now it's gone. So you saw the wheel fall quite a bit. So if we go back up to the same lug, same stud, you can see how it is literally just resting on the stud. Pain in the ass getting these on. It's a way of life when you're not running a big 5/8 stud. You got no other option but to run these. I've seen people run a conical seat lug nut, which is the end of the lug nut is literally like a cone. That's like what most factory cars run. It's a conical seat lug nut, and as you tighten them up, they all center the wheel. These, you can't run a conical seat lug nut with these wheels. I see people do it. It's extremely dangerous. I wouldn't recommend it. Just fight it. It's a pain in the ass. These suck. If you guys have these wheels at home, you know what I'm talking about. But it's part of it. It's all fun and games until you gotta put your fancy wheels on and you gotta use a shank style lug nut. So we'll rip this guy off here. All right, got the cow, both rear tires off, ready to swap them out for the drag radials. The beadlock stuff's a little bit easier than mounting the normal tire. You don't really need to have a tire machine, but we got one here, so it helps break the bead free. I'll pretty much zip this off and then pull the tire off, set the new tire down on it, and then zip the beadlock ring back off. These wheels, you have to put them through the tire machine and mount them. It's really not the end of the world. 15s are pretty easy to do. But we're going back radials, and I just want to give everyone an update with the cow, because everyone loves the cow, and it is coming back. Once I put the wheels and tires back on it and get the pump for the transmission, new input shaft, which is the reason why I haven't been driving it. Someone commented, they said, are you selling the cow? And I'm like, whoa, 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 settle down there. I solely just broke the input shaft. So it's a ringed input shaft. I'm gonna need a ringless pump and input shaft, throw it in the transmission. Everything should be good to go. Put it back in the car, drive around a little bit, take it out to Glot. We'll have it back out on Thursday nights. Just have fun with it. I know street cars have gotten so fast, it's not competitive, like all steel, all glass stuff. This thing can't hang, but it's a fun car. It's my first car. It's a badass car, and I'd like to grudge race it a little bit, just with some friends, some people out there that I know that got cars. Timmy, who you think this would beat up on at like a Thursday night testing tune? Who wants smoke? Richie can get smoke in the Grand National any day he wants. What do you think?
I don't know, man. It's still a good street car. It's fast.
It is. I said it's not as fast as like some of these badass all steel, all glass cars.
This is a true street car, though.
It's like real factory computer, factory radiator, drive it around, stock
Electric
block.
Windows.
Yeah, I mean
full interior. Minus. Well, we got a back.
No,
seat.
it's what?
We got a back seat.
Don't you dare say it doesn't have a back seat. It might be folded down.
Folded down, but yeah, it's good.
It's in there. It's got. I mean, it's ready to rock. And so, most times, I often make passes with passengers because I got like a couple mice living in here.
I mean, I rode it a couple times.
Yeah. How's it drive?
Pulls good.
Pulls good.
I ain't drove it though.
Oof, oof, easy now.
You just asked me how it drove.
I know. We'll have to. So I said we're gonna put the drag rails on it and put a pump in the transmission, and then we're good. We're ready to rock. Change the oil. We'll do an oil change.
Do an oil change. Give it some love.
All right. All right. Well, I got both tires off. We're switching from the slicks to the radials. We'll get that knocked out real quick. Timmy's gonna help me, and then we'll be back on all fours, ready for a transmission pump. All right, guys. So what we got going on here is get the slicks off, put the radials on there, getting the beadlocks put back on. These are single beadlocks, so it's literally just one, and then you got to blow it up with like 30 pounds of air, and it will seat the backside. They say to do it by hand, and honestly you probably should, but you guys know where this is going. Got the old trusty impact out, 8mm 12 point.
Send her home. What are these going on the back of, John?
These are the cow's wheels. So, I pretty much run them snug with like a 3/8 impact. I mean, don't sit there and hammer it, but I mean, within reason. There's a gap. You'll see the gap between it close up. We try to close up all the way around, then I go over it with a torque wrench. They say torque wrench, I think like 22 foot-pounds.
Yeah, 22, 25, depending on the weight.
Generally, if you hit them like that, you go over it until it stops moving. It'll move like, what, a quarter turn, and then you're there, so.
Yeah, about 19 pounds.
And you can see it's still moving. As you can see, this one looks a little goofy. No beadlock back there. It just got like a knurl, so. You can watch it. Don't put your finger in there.
Yeah, put your finger in there?
Yeah, put your finger in there. If you go to a tire store and you see them blowing up tires, always put your finger in there.
Don't
Close. That's like 20 pounds in the tire right now. Look at that, a little bit right back here. Pout, good.
She said right on down in there.
On there, fool. You didn't do that right. I remember my first time.
Wrestle it on there. Come on, John.
Come on. Oh, you cheating ass.
We ain't got that at the racetrack, John.
Cheating ass.
John says he finds a local tire store to mount his tires anyways.
I think you cheated. I'll see you something. You gonna at least start them? Oh my god.
Timmy, he just sent that one home.
He sent it home.
Shout out to Food Line.
I literally stand out there all day and just do that, and all the truck drivers caught on finally.
Hey, it ain't my wheel. I
Tight.
can't see from the house.
Tight is tight.
Can't see it from the house.
Do you dabble any anti-seize or anything on these?
What?
You put any anti-seize or anything on these? Just raw,
Where's the one without? Oh, that's the one without a washer.
just raw dogging it.
Yeah.
That's rough.
A little dry leak though.
That's too tight.
I was waiting for that damn thing to snap. What'd you have it at?
30.
Oh shit.
That's 25. People think the impact honestly gets them too tight. And you guys saw me hammering it with the impact. I mean, look how tight this thing still gets.
Are you sure you got them on 22?
Yep. It's on 20.5.
Got the radials going back on the cow here.
We're going back on. This is what I was telling you guys before with how shitty these tires are to get on with these buttons. My trick is I run them like halfway down And if you like, literally, if you were to run this all the way down, it'd literally get caught on the face of the wheel. So I run them all like halfway down. Make sure the washer stays on the shank. Like this one, washer's off the shank. Make sure it stays on the shank. Don't pinch your finger. It hurts like a son of a gun. So see how the tip of the shank is close to the wheel? Then I grab the wheel. Back on a little bit more. Pick the wheel up. Put it on though, so now it's centered. And then you gotta slowly walk them in. After tearing up like 7 sets of lug nuts, I learned this. You gotta slowly walk the wheel in, tighten up the lug nuts as you go, until you get them to the wheel to sit flush against the hub. You can really see it moving there. I'm getting close.
We should design a piece where you ain't got to do that.
I was telling them, like, if you have the big studs, you have an 1 5/16 stud. Sorry, 1 5/16. You have 5/8.
Damn.
If you have a 5/8 stud, you slap it on there. It has no planing out the gate, so you're good. But now we're up flush against it. The wheel's centered, so you can hammer down. That washer's just absolutely smoked. And then before I go to the track, I'll check them with a torque wrench.
What kind of torque specs did you just put on it right there?
That's good and tight.
Yeah, probably somewhere near 100. I try to go for like 100, 110 with an actual torque wrench, but this gets me like there or more.
Do a little quick walk around of what you can win if you go over to lsnasty.com. Pick you up a piece of merchandise. It's not too terribly bad on the inside. Got some slips here. 585, 84, 83, a 78. All at 120 plus. Got your Racecraft brackets down there for your seat. 17-inch seat. We do have a wider seat we can throw in here if you're a little bigger. Nice little cage work. Let's fire her up. Go to lsnasty.com, grab you a piece of merchandise, and win this bad boy.